Hello everybody, Chess Coach Tendai here. Today we are going to talk about the queen. The queen is the most powerful piece in chess. The queen may move any number of squares in any direction, so long as no piece is blocking its path. But it cannot move as a knight. We've got the queen on e4. Let us show the possible squares it can move to. So this queen, I'm just going to put the squares it can move to. It can move diagonally. I've just done one diagonal. I'm going to do the other diagonal. Those are all the diagonal squares this queen can move to the left, to the right. The queen can also move vertically, up or down the board. See all those squares that the queen can move to. It can also move horizontally to the left or to the right. Those are all the moves that the queen can make. Let's just make sure we all know which queen we are talking about, since we've got so many queens on the board now. We've got the queen on e4. That's the one I am talking about. It can move to all those squares. Once again, the queen may move any number of squares in any direction, so long as no piece is blocking its path, but it cannot move as a knight. All right, we're going to clear the board and start again. We started with the queen on e4, and we said it can move any number of squares in any direction as long as no piece is blocking its path. What does that mean? Let's say here we've got a pawn on c4. The queen is on e4. This queen can move to that square. Can move to that square, which is d4, and the queen can move to this square with the pawn on c4. But if the queen were to move to that square, let's just put it back. If the queen moves to c4, then it's going to capture that pawn on c4 and it replaces the pawn. So we're going to take it like that. That's what would happen. If the queen moves from e4 and replaces the pawn on c4, it captures the pawn. There's the capture. Okay. Now, let's go back. This queen, from where it is, it cannot move to a4 because a4 would be going over the pawn. The queen cannot do that. The queen cannot jump over other pieces. If a piece is blocking the queen in its path, then the queen would be stopped by that piece in its movement. So in this case, the queen can capture that pawn. Okay, so that's horizontally to the left. The queen is there. We put a pawn on h4. The queen can also capture that pawn like that. That's horizontally. Let's go back to e4. If there's a pawn on h7, the queen can also capture that pawn like that. Let's go back. The queen can also capture, if there was a pawn on b7, this queen can also capture that pawn like that. Okay, let's just do it for completeness sake. We put another pawn here. We put the queen back. This queen can move down diagonally, can capture that pawn. We put the queen back. Just showing you the great power of the queen. So this queen can move, capture the pawn like that. Let's put the queen back on e4. Now let's say there was a rook on f6. Can this queen capture the rook? Remember we said that the queen can move horizontally to the left, to the right, can move vertically up or down, can move diagonally to the left or right. But can it move in an L shape like the knight? No. So this queen would not be able to capture the rook. Very important. What if the rook were on g6? The rook is in the same diagonal, which means it should be possible. It is possible indeed for the queen to capture the rook. There we go. Let's put the queen there. What if the rook was to the left? So the queen can capture the rook like that. And what if the rook was on the right, on h4? Yes, indeed, the queen can capture the rook. There we go. What if there was a knight on h1? Yes, the queen can capture the knight. Okay, we put the queen back on e4. What if it was a knight on a1? Now let's see. The knight is on a1, a dark square. The queen is on e4, a light square. Are they on the same diagonal? No, they're not. So this queen cannot capture the knight on a1. Once again, the queen may move any number of squares in any direction so long as no piece is blocking its path. Okay, let's try a different scenario. Let's say we've got a white queen next to a white pawn. Can this queen move to this square, h4? Can the queen move to h4? No, it cannot, because it's blocked in its path by that pawn. So it's blocked by a piece of its own color. It cannot jump over the pawn there. And the same is true if the pawn were on the other side or in any direction. Let me do it like this. Let's imagine we're in a situation like this, a hypothetical situation. Let's imagine we're in a situation like this. Okay, this is not going to happen in chess, but let's imagine we've got a situation like this. The queen is surrounded by pawns of its own color, the same color. Can the queen move? No, the queen is not able to move here. But if it were like that, it means this queen can move diagonally, can move vertically, can move horizontally, vertically down, can also move in the other direction diagonally. But it cannot jump over the other pawns. Okay, and then we've also discussed capturing, right? Let's just do a recap once again on the movements of the queen. The queen may move any number of squares in any direction so long as no piece is blocking its path. Okay, so in this case, the queen can move that diagonal, can also move in the diagonal to the left this way. The queen can move horizontally. The queen can move vertically. And just to make sure we all remember, the queen we are talking about is the queen which was on e4. That was the original square. Okay, now we're going to clear the board and place the queen once again on e4. And we said the queen cannot move as a knight. And if a piece lies in the path of the queen, let's just plant some pieces. Let's say these are the pieces. No, we can't have 3 knights. Let's put a bishop. No, we can't have 2 bishops. Let's put a bishop on a light square, and then we can put another rook. Let's say this is the situation. This queen can capture the knight like that. Okay? Did you see what I just did? The queen on e4 captured the knight on b1. So the queen can capture the knight. Okay, we put the queen back. The queen can capture the rook on h1 because they're on the same diagonal. So this queen can capture that rook. Let's put the queen back. This queen can capture the other rook as well. The rook on h7. Let's put the queen back. The queen can capture the bishop, which is on e2. that bishop. Okay, let's put the queen back to e4. The queen can capture the bishop on e7 because they are on the same file. Let's put the queen back. The queen can capture the knight on b7 because they are on the same diagonal. There we go. We put the queen back. That's how the queen moves in chess. See you in the next one. Cheers, everybody.